Yeah, we always talk about there's three parts to the season, Jamie. Obviously, there's the non-conference part. Then there's the conference part. So we're really on round three. We're at the tournament, single elimination tournament. And it's what you've worked for to get home court advantage. The tournament's run the right way, that's for sure. So we've got to be locked in, ready to go, playing a really good Detroit Mercy team. They're playing at a high level, not just on offense, but on the defensive side, too. I've said all along they're one of the most talented teams. Obviously, a star in Antoine Davis, something this league hasn't seen ever. You've got to be ready to play.
Are you guys ready? I mean,
I think so. I don't think you ever really know if you're fully ready until the jump ball happens. I think there'll be some anxiousness. There certainly is in tournament, but you've got to rely on your togetherness, your toughness, and your focus, and your execution. Come tournament time, and give it your all, play your best, and leave it all on the court.
university, the city, basketball program, I've never seen this before. So how exciting is that?
Yeah, it gives you goosebumps. It gives you a little bit of gratification knowing the hard work, knowing that the naysayers that said this couldn't be done in basketball here, there's no more of that. We broke that streak. That thing's over. So can't thank the community enough. It's been awesome lighting up the community with the red outs, the crowds. This will be our last game in this building. So to be kind of bittersweet, but we want to get the win.
You guys have played so well all year. You're getting everybody's best shot no matter what happens. But you've never gone into a tournament as a one seed before. So what do you tell a guy who's, hey, you're going to be wearing the biggest target for the next 3 years?
Yeah, just do what we do. Share the ball, execute, shoot when you're open, be relentless on the glass. Get to the foul line, and then on the defensive end, just team guard. We haven't guarded that well the last couple games. They know that. We've pointed that out. We've went over that here the last 2 or 3 days. This tournament will start and end with the best defensive team. In the last 7 years, I think the stats show that most of the winners in this conference tournament hold teams to about 70 points. So if we hold teams to 70 points, we're pretty good. We get in shootouts and we rely too much on our offense, Ryan, we'd be in trouble. So we've got to guard. We just because we're the one seed, that doesn't mean anything. There's only been one regular season champion win the tournament title, I believe, since we've been going to this format. So it's hard, right? It's a really hard tournament. It doesn't matter if you're the 1 seed or you're the 11 seed. One bad night and you're out.
You were able to hold Davis to 15 here in the second game. You got 30 in the first game. So what's the key on?
Yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of national people here. This is a national story. This is something that's been going on all year. I think a lot of people didn't think he'd get to this point. I certainly did. I'm an Antoine Davis fan. I think he's put in an unbelievable amount of work on and off the court. I've gotten to know his father very well. So there's going to be a lot of national attention to this story, right? There's going to be tons of writers and people coming in here to see, and rightfully so. But we've got to execute our game plan, Dana. You say, how do you stop him? It's hard to stop a guy that good, right? So when you say, how do you stop him? We want him to be inefficient, if that makes sense. He may get 25 or 27 or 28 or 40, but what do those percentages look like? How many shots is he taking? Every time down, he's on our mind, whether that's with the ball, off the ball screens, whatever he's doing out there on the court, we're aware of him. So we've got to contest his shots. We've got to make it hard on him. We're not so much caught up in this record. We're caught up in winning. That record doesn't affect any of my players. It's a big deal, and I'm happy for him. But we just want to win the game, and if he scores 26 and we win, I don't think we're going to worry about that.
Does that kind of help you though? I mean, you mentioned earlier being the number 1 seed. That's a big enough bullseye, but him getting close to this record.
Yeah, somebody else asked me that. It's not a bad question because I got that this morning. I can't remember who asked me this, but I don't know. I mean, Antoine does what Antoine does. Whether he's going for a national scoring record to be the all-time leading scorer in all of college basketball, or he's not, he's still going to take and make a ton of hard shots. Like, he is who he is. He's not going to change. I think he plays the right way. I think most of the offense is him. They're going to run 90% of the stuff for him, as I would too. So I don't know if that changes. I don't know.
As far as you all go, just what makes Detroit's defense so tricky, and how do you kind of go about attacking?
Yeah, I mean, it's a zone. It's a matchup zone. They got length. They got positional size. Liddell is about 6'9". Some of their wings are 6'6", 6'7". They've got extreme long wingspans. To be able to throw down is difficult. So we've got to knife the zone. We've got to screen the zone. We've got to throw down against the zone. We've got to get stops and get in transition so you don't play against the zone. Us as coaches, we got to help facilitate baskets, whether it's after timeouts, walk-up situations. We've got to be able to execute. We've done that all year. But against this team, Joel, you got to be able to pass. Our assist to turnover against them in the 2 games has been very good. We got to value each possession.
I'm sure you don't have to preach it too much. You got a senior-laden team. You've been through this tournament a bunch of times. But, what's different when Kearney's playing? Jockeying for position and wanting to be a 1 seed is one thing. But when there's no tomorrow, I assume
I think that's what's different, right? I think, that's what makes college basketball, in my opinion. Super Bowl's huge. Kentucky Derby's huge. NBA Finals is huge. I mean, there's a lot of great sporting events, but March Madness is one of the most followed, right? Why? Just because of this. It's a single elimination. It's a tournament that you see these young kids put their hearts into it all season long for a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. At our level, it gets no better than this tournament. You see the Horizon League every year. There's craziness. There's buzzer beaters. There's comebacks. You have to brace yourself for it all, but you have to be ready for the moment. As one of the older teams in college basketball, it's about the players. The coaches are going to have their teams ready. Everybody's going to be ready to play. But the great players make plays in March and make great memories. What we were able to do this year, through a 20-game season is pretty remarkable, right? To win a conference championship, to be able to battle injuries, to go on the road, to game plan, to, you name it, to win a regular season title, to me, is much, much more difficult than a 3-game tournament. That being said, we want both. We want to play in the NCAA tournament. That was only one phase, one thing we talked about with this group, winning the regular season, and now our attention goes to the conference tournament. So I think our guys just got to be ready to go. They got to be excited. You're going to have some nerves, but you got to lay it all on the line.
Sure, with your success that you had at Fairmont, you've kind of been in this position, but not in this position. Is this the most, I don't want to say challenging, but most difficult game to coach?
No, I mean, I played in the national title, Final Four, Sweet 16s. I mean, I don't know. I don't get too high, too low. I think, they're going to follow my lead. I got to be who I am. I got to keep them in their routine. We'll go to the hotel tonight. We'll have dinner. We'll laugh. We'll joke. We're not going to be tight. Then we'll get up tomorrow and they'll go to class, and then we'll come to shoot around. And at 8 o'clock, we'll have probably the biggest crowd maybe in the history of Youngstown basketball. So to me, if you can't get up for that and you can't go make plays and you can't play defense and you can't be excited, as I told them, like, guys, we're at the wrong place. I don't fully anticipate. I don't see any of that. I think our guys will probably have to be calmed down a little bit, Dana. You know how it is with the nerves. But just play winning basketball. Don't overthink it.
As far as scouting goes, without knowing who the opponent was going to be, how did you all kind of handle that coming in?
Yeah, I mean, a little nerve-wracking. If I was a commissioner and I could make the decision, I would do it a little bit different, to be honest with you, but I'm one of 11 coaches. I don't make those types of decisions. We have put so much emphasis on non-league schedule moving forward of, almost mandating and forcing us to play Power 5 teams. Really don't have to be Power 5, but Quad 1 and Quad 2, so really good teams. To me, if we're going to do that and we're going to have to play 4 bye games next year, which, that's what's in the bylaws, that's what is being told to our athletic directors, I think we should protect the 1 seed. I think the 1 seed should get the double bye. I think they should go to Indianapolis because that's all the initiative is to protect the 1 seed, and really put your best team in the NCAA tournament to get the best seed to be able to win multiple games, right? We haven't seen a Horizon League team win tournament games in a long time, but the narrative has changed. You know, Power Fives are getting all the bids. Mid-majors we're getting 1 bid. You know, most conferences are 1 bids, the MAC, the Horizon, you name it. So I think the schools at this level should sit down and figure out a way to protect your top 1 or 2 teams so they have the best chance of getting the NCAA tournament, because those teams obviously have the best net to get the best seed. You know, you go from a 16, 15, if one of your better teams could possibly get a 14 or a 13. I think the league's initiative is to do it through scheduling. I think if you're going to do that, then you need to tie your conference tournament into protecting the seed as well. So there's a lot of dynamics, Joel, that I could get into with scheduling, probably at a later date. Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it was the league. I think it was the coaches complained they sat too long. Their team sat too long in the double bye. You know, I think that's why it changed back.